Hey everyone, Caleb with the Antique Book Collective, and today I'm getting to you guys with a nice broad sort of video. I hope to address all the things that I can, but this video, guys, it's about what to do with old books. So guys, let's face it, you see an old book, you might not think it's worth much, but newsflash, big alarms, old books can actually be worth a lot. In fact, I run my business selling old books. That is the bread and butter of my business. It's how I make most of my money, believe it or not. Guys, old books can be worth not just like 5 cents, 10 cents. Old books can be worth hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars. Of course, the thousands of dollars ones are a lot more rare, but I have quite a few books, guys, that are worth hundreds of dollars. I have sets of books that are worth hundreds of dollars, a couple that are worth a couple $1,000s. The best book I've actually had was from the 1800s, and that was worth $30,000. I didn't sell it for $30K, but it was worth that based on everyone else that had been selling them, all that sort of stuff. So that is something to keep in mind. So guys, with your old books that you have, I don't know how you got them, I don't know where they came from, but when you do it, it's really easy to look up the price, guys. Just pull up eBay, or you could just pull up a Google search, honestly, and then hop on over to the shopping tab, not the broad search. You can do the broad search, but I find the shopping tab normally does better. But just Google search, type in your book, and generally that'll give you some good ideas of what the book is worth. Full disclosure, I would highly suspect that, just totally random number here, but I would suspect maybe 60% of the books that you have might not be worth a lot. The other 40% will be worth so much that you will be happy that you did this. Guys, if you guys are checking your books to see what they're worth, please don't just scan 5 and decide it's not worth anything. Do 20. I'm just asking you guys to do 20 books. That might take 20 minutes depending on how quick you type. It might take longer if you guys are really slow typers, but just look it up. You could do it on your phone, you could do it on the computer. Really easy cheesy. But guys, you can find books that are worth hundreds of dollars. Or honestly, guys, my average sales price for my business, when I'm doing my business how I like with my old books, with all the books that I get to choose myself, my average sales price was $75 per thing that I sold. So let's think. If you do 20 books, average $75, let's say all 20 were worth selling, it's like, that's some pretty good money. And the reason why my average sales price was $75 was because I did have plenty of books that were on the higher end of that. They were a couple $100s. And I also had quite a few books that were worth less than that as well. So that is something to keep in mind. So guys, if you guys do have old books, be sure to look up what they're worth. They could be worth a lot more than what you expect. That is just a big, broad thing to just keep in mind. Other things to do if you guys do have old books, if you want to get rid of them, you can donate them, of course. I would recommend, if you guys do want to donate them and not sell them at all, I would recommend donating them to a local library, because the local libraries, they actually have things called Friends of the Library sales, where they will actually, if they don't want the book itself, they will actually put it up for sale so other people can buy them and get money for the library. That is something that can be very helpful. Senior centers, a lot of senior centers will like books. If you have older books, they probably won't want those. They want the newer books that are nicer. But that is something you can do. Prisons, a lot of prisons do have their own libraries. There are 1,005 rules on what books they can have and what the book's condition has to be. So be sure to look those up. Be sure to ask before you donate the books, but that is something you can do. Local churches take them. There are Salvation Army, Goodwill, stuff like that. Personally, I don't like donating to them because they charge so much for these things when other people will charge nothing for them or give them away for free. Personally, I would rather give my books to give money to a local library than Salvation Army or Goodwill. No offense to them, but I'm just a library guy. I'm a nerd. I'll accept it. I sell old books. I'm a nerd. We know. But with that said, though, guys, that is something that you can do. Again, I recommend selling the books if you guys can, but that is an option if you guys only want to donate. Something else that you can do is you can just look up, like, put it up on Facebook, something like that. It'd be like, I have a collection of old books for sale, looking for people to sell them to. You can do that on Craigslist. You can do it wherever you want. Personally, I don't like Craigslist. There's a lot of sketchy people there, but that is something that you guys can, of course, do. Basically, if you guys are going to do that route, it is a lot like selling the books on eBay itself. So you do want to have at least some info. You do want to know roughly what the books might be worth. Something that you guys want to do if you guys are selling books is either on Craigslist or on eBay itself, is besides just knowing the title, you also want to know when the book was published. So that's in one of the very first pages of a book. So just flip on over to the title page, So title page is the one that has the title on it, the author, all the information about that. Sometimes you'll have a year printed on that. This book does not have that, but sometimes you have that, so know that year. And if they do not have the year there, turn the very next page, and then you have the copyright page. Not every book will have a copyright page. Most will, but I find that books from about the 1890s to 1910s won't always have copyright years, so that is something to keep in mind. But copyright page will have the year. That's something you should know. When you guys are making the listing for eBay or for Craigslist or whatever you do, people will want to know what year the book is from. So you can just be like, hey, I have all these books from the 1850s to the 1890s. Something like that. People will see that, and the right people will show up and be like, hey, I see that you have these. I already looked up these 5. I'll give you $50 for all the ones you have. People will throw out prices. Some people will lowball you. Be prepared for that. That's why I recommend looking these things up so you know roughly what the book is worth. But be prepared to be lowballed if you do that route, if you do the Craigslist Facebook thing. But if you guys are doing eBay, you can command a higher premium because you're putting in the work to list these things, to sell these things, to ship them out, that sort of stuff. So that is something to keep in mind. So with that said though, guys, those are my biggest tips for what to do if you have old books. You can donate them, or you could sell them, or you can sell them yourself, or you could sell them to a bookseller. And the last thing is you can keep them yourself. I recommend keeping as many books as you can because books are awesome. Books are knowledge, but that is also something you can do. So with that said though, guys, those are just some of the things that you can do with old books. There are, of course, 1,005 other things that you can do. I actually have a couple playlists, a couple other things about this sort of subject, so be sure to check out one of my other videos there, one of the playlists there. Those will help you out for sure. If you guys want to learn more about my eBay business, about how you can find antique books, how you can find them, how you can sell them, all that sort of stuff, be sure to subscribe. I go over so many things about this. Check out all my other videos I have on this channel. I just share all the information on how I run my entire business. No paywall. Like, you don't have to pay to learn any of these things. A lot of people do that. I'm not, because I just want to make sure as many people can sell books as possible because it's something that's a passion of mine. So with that said and done though, guys, thank you for watching. Again, check out one of the other videos and playlists. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to drop a like, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.